few minutes. So just to kind of give you a sense of where we sit, obviously I'm preaching to the choir, you know where your properties sit, but statewide, looking at some of the metrics, Illinois continues to lag not only regionally, we're a couple percentage points behind the region, but also we're over 10 percentage points behind the occupancy rate of the country. So Illinois continues to lag, we know that. Things are improving, but it's a little discouraging, and we can't wait until we get back to at least meeting that national standard. This is based on where you are in Illinois, all the different regions. Obviously, the city of Chicago is hurting more than really anybody else in the state. Their reliance on conventions, business travel, we know that. You look at a region like Bloomington, in many ways they're back at pre-pandemic levels. They have Rivian, they have some other corporate travel that is rebounding quicker than corporate travel is in other regions of the state. This one's interesting. This is Chicago versus all the other major markets. Since January 1st, we get this graph weekly, so this is for last week. Every week since January 1st, Chicago has been in dead last of all the major markets across the country. It's getting better. This is actually the first week. You see we're at 57% in the city of Chicago. That's the first week of the year. Actually the first week since last summer that we're over 50% as a city. So it's definitely getting better, but obviously nowhere near the 84% in Orlando or even the 76% in San Francisco and in New York. So these are probably the two most important slides I'll talk about today. The first one is looking back. What have we done since I last spoke to you all on government affairs? So this is over the last 2 years throughout the pandemic, what we've done for hotels as an organization. First of all, how many hotels here stayed open throughout the pandemic? How many did not close? How many realized that Governor Pritzker tried mandating the shutdown of all hotels? On March 19th, the night before he gave the stay-at-home order on March 20th, there was a line in there that was going to shut down all hotels unless they were commandeered by the state government to house National Guard or doctors. He was going to force the shutdown. It was at about 4 a.m. that we finally got the confirmation that that provision was removed from his order, and that hotels, if they chose to stay open, obviously we know business was terrible, at least you were allowed to stay open. He tried shutting all hotels down. We got them to stay open. Obviously then we fought to reopening to meetings, to conventions, getting all the mitigations done away with as soon as possible. It wasn't as soon as we would have liked, but that was our key fight. So far to date, separate from the proposal we're fighting for right now, already we've gotten over $50 million here in Illinois. The federal government outside of PPP, they have given us nothing. We know airlines got money, we know restaurants got money, performing arts centers got money. Federal government has given hotels zero in dedicated funding. Here in Illinois, we got $50 million out of 3 different programs dedicated for hotels. That equates, and we know not every hotel's gotten one, but many of you have. The average grant was $33,000 to every state. We know it's not nearly enough, it doesn't nearly make up the losses, but that's a lot more than any other state has given to their hotel industry. There's a lot of other things we were able to do. The one that I want to touch on is the bottom one. If you do not have panic buttons, that was as of March 1st of last year, you had to have had panic buttons installed. That was delayed from the original date, but if you don't have panic buttons, we are starting to see lawsuits. And keep in mind that the fine, if you're not compliant, if you don't have panic buttons in your hotel, that is not paid to the state, it's not paid to the county or city, that is paid to your employees. And employees are catching wind of that. Housekeepers are beginning to learn that. And if you're not compliant right now, each of your housekeepers is entitled to more than $92,000 each if they go and sue you and bring you to court. $92,000 each. And a lot of hotel owners we hear from are saying, oh, our housekeepers are very loyal. They would never do that to us. When they find out that they could get over $100,000 from you, that loyalty goes out the window real quick. And we're starting to see more and more lawsuits across the state pop up by housekeepers finding this out and bringing their hotel owners to court. So if you're not compliant, let us know. We have resources online. We have discounts for some of the providers. We want to help you because there's huge financial liability if you're not compliant. This is now looking forward. First and foremost is the direct financial assistance. Mike mentioned the Hotel Jobs Recovery Plan. This is our proposal that would give $1,500 per guest room to every hotel in the state. If you have not done that action alert, today, right now is the day, because these decisions are going to be made in the next 48 to 72 hours. They are finalizing the state budget right now. A week from tomorrow, the state legislative session ends. And they need to not only create the budget, but pass the budget. The budget is near final. They're making a couple tweaks to it. I'll tell you, we are not going to get $1,500 per guest room. We're hearing it might be, right now, we're at about $50 million. We're hoping to get that back up to $100 million, but we're thinking it's going to end up equating to about $300 to maybe $400 per guest room to every hotel in the state. We also want to make sure, unlike back to business, that you don't have to apply for it, wait for them to review it, that it's just a check that's automatically cut to you and sent to your properties to say, here, we know how many guest rooms you have, here's your amount, and it's very easy and very quick to implement. That is our hope. We don't know how successful we'll be. We'll know in the next week, but we need you to send that action alert tonight when you get home. Send that message to your legislators because, like I said, these decisions are going to be made in the next 2 to 3 days on how much money we get. Before I move on, any questions about that before I go on to any other issue? Because that is the big one facing us right now.
Do you have a link that we can send to our legislator?
Yes. Are we able to resend that? I know AAHOA has been helping us get that link out. So.
Yep. We'll have AAHOA resend it.
Okay. Yeah, so we have a link. It's like any other one you sent where it's already pre-populated. And like I said, tonight would be great if you have that link. Jim? No, they won't go out. Committees are done. We're already waiting. So correct. So our goal is just to get it brought into the budget, and we need more co-sponsors on it to build to show that there's priority, that it's important to people. All right, so expect to hear from us soon on what the outcome of that is, but that is our top issue right now. Oh, I'm sorry.
Did we get that 1,500 person petition list?
Yeah, so we've sent, actually we've sent over 2,000 messages now. Have been sent on this. It's actually one of the most successful action alerts that we've ever seen. It shows the importance, it shows how many people want it, but we need more. Everybody's asking for money right now. The restaurants are asking for more money. They've already gotten $1.5 billion in RRF funds from the federal government. We've gotten zero, but they're asking for more money. The nursing homes are asking for more. Hospitals are asking for more. Affordable housing groups. Everybody's got their hand out. It's going to be whoever's the loudest. Whoever is most vocal are going to be the ones that are on the top of the list.